Hello, my name is Phil Mershon, and I am with a company called Return on Initiative. And today I have the pleasure, the delight, the thrill, in fact, of introducing you to Haley Welsh, who has a marvelous, marvelous company called Creative Melodies. And I could tell you all about that, but I'm going to let her tell you all about that. Welcome, Haley. How are you today?
Hi, Phil. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am doing just too good to be believed. So let's talk about Creative Melodies. It's a great name, but what is it? What do you do?
Thanks, Phil. I really appreciate you having me today. So, I'm the owner of Creative Melodies, and we offer children's music programming and music therapy services to centers in the Pittsburgh area. So, we believe that everybody has their own unique melody, and we use music to explore that.
Wow, that sounds exciting. How did how did that come about? What was the impetus to get you to do that?
Sure. So, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I've been practicing music therapy for I think I'm on about 10 years now, where
Okay, so you started this when you were like a teenager.
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but I have a degree in music therapy, which it's a 4-year program. And after you complete your studies within a college, you complete an internship, which is 6 months. And after there, I had the pleasure of creating a music therapy program at a nonprofit where I worked there for about, I want to say about 4 years. And then I had my second child. I decided, I'm going to take a little bit of time off and raise my family. And then after my third child, so this all happened probably within 4 years. I had 3 kids under 4 at a very short amount of time. And it was my children that inspired me to go back to it. It was in the midst of COVID. So it was actually 2020
Wow.
that I just noticed that children needed an outlet for self-expression and socialization, and they were lacking that just because of the pandemic that was happening. So I started off pretty small. I decided, I'm going to offer this children's music programming to homes within the Pittsburgh area with the people that they were quarantined with. So I'd go with my mask, gloved up, and brought music to the people that they felt safe with within a safe environment. And then that gained some momentum. And then as the word got out that I was kind of back in the field, some old connections reached out to me about starting music therapy again, which was great because I always wanted to do that, but getting back, I was a little bit nervous about. So the support from my older colleagues and the people that supported me throughout the years reached out, which was so meaningful. And I can't thank them enough for that. Um, yeah, and that's what kind of got the ball rolling. Then a child care center reached out about us bringing our program into child care centers instead of just these little personal spaces within people's homes because the COVID restrictions were letting up at this point.
Let me
And then,
interrupt you just a second to ask you
sure.
when you got that call when the phone rang and you're talking to this person. What are
Mhm.
you thinking about this point? Are you like,
Yeah. It's really funny you said that because I was actually just talking to her and I was able to express to her how grateful I am for her support and, taking a chance on me. We had mutual friends, but other than that, she didn't know me, but she
right?
loved the work that I was doing. And she's actually a child psychiatrist. So I think she really understood the benefits of music with young children. Um, I just kind of went with it. I was just like, yes, let's do it. And then they are experienced business owners. So they kind of like, you could tell they're kind of hinting like, why don't you come in and show us what you do first, and they kind of walked me through it. But it took a lot of confidence on my end, to be honest. Like it took a lot of work within myself. I was reading a lot of motivational books and podcasts about how like, hey, you can do this, believe in yourself. And it just took that leap. And from there, if I can give any advice to anybody, like don't doubt your self-confidence, go for it because you can do it. And it takes some work within yourself. But to answer your question, I just went for it. I was
Yeah,
nervous, but I had confidence with myself that I could do it. So yeah,
good for you. Good for you. So let's talk about how what this looks like, the clinical music therapy that you do.
sure.
Can you kind of talk about what if I was a fly on the wall, what kind of things would I see you do?
Absolutely. I absolutely love my profession. It's really the core of everything that I do within my business. Um, so music therapy is the use of music for non-musical goals. So depending on the populations, the goals can look a little bit different. So for instance, we do a lot of work with behavioral health shelters. And what we're doing in there is using music to encourage self-expression, to encourage safe leisure skills, to encourage socialization within a group environment, and even just to have the people that we work with to work with that therapeutic relationship. So to use music as our tool to build that is really important for the people we work with. We also work with people with intellectual disabilities. So we'll bring music in to help with their cognitive goals, to collaborate with other therapists to help motivation and compliance for their goals as well. A lot of things that we do with our work with intellectual disabilities would be socialization within a group setting. So the people that we work a lot with, they have severe and profound intellectual disabilities. So to give them a role within the musical group where they're not able to communicate with the other group members, but they can communicate musically by playing along with a drum while another client might be vocalizing within the same pitch that we're playing, is incredibly meaningful. So it's just really finding where the clients are at, meeting them where they're at, and using music to help encourage the goals that they're currently working on.
That is fascinating on a whole bunch of different levels as far as I'm concerned. So okay, I've seen pictures on your website, which, by the way, this I'll use this as a chance to mention. You do have a mighty fine website. What is it? What's the how would I go to your website?
Sure, it's creativemelodies.org. Melodies is plural, so it's IES at the end, .org.
Right. And one of the things that people are going to see when they do, in fact, and you know you will in fact go to that website, you're going to see some pictures of some kids with, and I don't mean to sound silly here, but you're going to see little children, among others, with ukuleles, drums, guitars, um, and it's not just one of those things where you look at it and you say, "Isn't that adorable?" Although you're probably going to say that too, but it isn't just that, because you get this. There's this. Well, I'm gonna apply a term here. What I call the Spielberg glow. When you're watching a Steven Spielberg and like E.T. or just as an example, and you get to that like moment of inspiration, and there's this kind of glow that lights up on wherever the camera happens to be on. You see this website, you see these kids on here, and that's the glow that you see coming off of them. You know that it's something more than just a child with a guitar. You tell me
Yeah,
if I'm wrong.
I thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm really fortunate that these photos can capture these really special moments that are happening with the sessions. I get to see these kids thrive, when you bring music in, it's so structured, our sessions, but it's within the music that they're able to be themselves, that they're able to express their uniqueness and how special each child is. Um, I know this, I have a really big goal whenever I work with these childcare centers. So most likely when we go in there, we are their first structured music experience. I'm sure they have music going on in their homes, and they might be doing music within the classrooms, but I don't take that for granted. I am their first introduction to a structured music, and I'm hoping that in the next couple of years, we have this wave of children coming through the school district that just feel incredibly inspired to continue their musical journey throughout their lifespan. It doesn't have to be a structured music lesson, but just to know that no matter what they're going through within their lives, that they have music that they're able to use to express themselves and to support themselves with. So I'm glad that's captured within the picture.
Oh, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. I don't, we didn't discuss that we would talk about this, but I'm going to throw it in anyway. Am I wrong when I say that I think that like, public school systems are not emphasizing music as much as they might have been doing 25, 30 years ago?
I mean, I'm personally there. We do a little bit of work within the school districts. I'm trying to get more. So maybe that kind of answers your question. It's been challenging, because of funding. Um, but I don't know, that definitely could be a thing. And it's incredibly important that, they might not have that funding support moving forward within the school districts, or even the funding support for their parents to give them individual music lessons, but just to know that music is a safe place for them to explore themselves. That's all that I can really do, and
Sure.
I will do everything that I can to advocate for more funding for the school systems, because it's so important. What makes me having music growing up. Without music growing up, I don't think I'd have this program. You can change the world with it. I know that sounds really cheesy, but you can change the world with music. And if that's not offered to children growing
Doesn't
up.
sound cheesy at all. Doesn't sound cheesy at all. Look, not, this is about you. This isn't about me. I'm going to take a quick second here.
Okay.
When I was 8 years of age, I knew that I was going to play an instrument. I didn't know which one it was going to be. And because my father was always very musical, and I thought, well, I want to be like him, more or less. And so this guy came to our school and said, all right, I'm going to be the guy who teaches you how to play instruments next year. So let's find out what instruments you want to play. And he took one look at me, and he said, oh, you're playing drums. And I don't know how you know that, but he was exactly correct. That is exactly what happened. And I have been, you can see it here, but I've been playing. And I think there we go. I've been playing these ever since. And I don't go anywhere without set. So you never know the impact that something like that actually can have. You, however, you're in daycares?
Yeah, we're in a lot of childcares in the Pittsburgh area. It's been really gaining some momentum, and I am extremely passionate about growing this, and I can give a lot of the credit to the team that I have. They have
So let's talk about the
been
team.
absolutely, yeah,
This
absolutely.
isn't just
That's
you. You've got people out there working every day, right?
Yes, I am incredibly proud of them. The work that they've been doing has been fantastic. The reviews we've been getting from these childcare directors, from parents, from their children. The one thing is, like, when we go in these childcare centers, it's really the communication we have, unlike a lot of music programs where it's like mommy and me groups, where it's the parent and the child coming in and interacting. What we're doing is we're interacting with the teachers and the child care directors with their children. So we are invited to come in, and we are scheduled to be on their schedule to do these sessions. But what's really amazing is these kids are going home and they're telling their parents about how in love they are with music now. And parents are going out of their way to email me to let me know the response and the relationship that their child now has with music, which is incredible, because it's you feel a little bit disconnected until you get these emails. You're like, wow, this is so great that this is being carried on throughout their home. And then from there, the parents are running with this. They're like, my child had got a ukulele for Christmas now, and they're walking around singing our hello song around the home. It's really great. And then teaching their younger sibling the songs that they're learning. So they're also using that as a way to bond whenever they get home. But yeah, it's really great. And I give a lot of credit to my team. They're developing these sessions they're solid. They're amazing. They just incorporate percussion instruments, guitar playing, dancing, singing, movement to music. There's so much, just depending on the needs of each group. Because some of the kids are more active, some of them are a little bit reserved. So there's a music intervention for each group of kids that you work with, depending on their interest. So it's really neat that we're able to to them.
You get to see this, though. I mean,
Oh yeah.
So today is day 1, and now it's day 20, and you get to see and think about and visualize this evolution.
Yes, it's amazing. So I started, my first session was 2 years ago, and they were peanuts, like these little toddlers coming in. They were a little bit shy, you don't really have that many outsiders coming into a lot of childcare centers. Every once in a while you do, and now to see how they interact with music, how excited they get once we're there, and just, their preferences on what we're doing. It's really incredible to see that. That's a really good point, because I'm so used to saying that my business is so new, but we're going on 2 years now, and now I'm actually able to see the progress with these children that we work with. So yeah, absolutely.
How many people do you have on your team?
So I have, I'm going to give them a shout out right now. Hi,
Please.
team. I have a Callie, Alyssa, Rissa. We also have an art therapist as well. And we have our intern, Lindsay. So yeah.
Wow. That's sensational. Um, people can find you on social media, I think, right?
Yes, yes, it's always a work in progress, but I enjoy it's a great outlet to be able to try to give the parents and people that might be interested in us a little bit of a insight of what we do. So yeah, it's
So you're on Facebook and what else?
I'm sorry, say that again.
I know you're on Facebook. Where else are you on social media?
Instagram. We're on
Instagram.
Instagram. A lot of things we like to link together because there's a different market within Instagram and LinkedIn. So a lot of the work that we do in clinical facilities. So when I talked about our music therapy is really marketed within our LinkedIn site as well.
You have a summer camp coming up. Can you tell
Yeah.
us about that?
Oh, they're going to be so excited that I'm talking about this right now because we literally just dotted our I's and crossed our T's for the curriculum that we wrote. So we developed this long series of Carnival of the Animals. It's a classical piece. Look it up. It's all based on animals, Carnival of the Animals. And we took each animal that's based within the suite of and used each week to really focus on each animal, where we'll explore it with drawing, with dancing, with singing, with percussion, instrument play. And at the very end of the week, the children get to perform it for their classmates and as well as their parents. So we are incredibly excited about that. So
I bet. And when does this begin?
in the summer, I think it's June.
That's right.
We're launching this in June. You can find all the information on my website under the book now, which will lead you to Winchester Thurston School. They have a summer camp program called the WT Summer Camp. So it'll lead you to everything that you need to know about when they're launching each summer camp, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We are so excited. This has been something that's been on my mind for a while now, and now that I have this team to support me on this dream, we can get it rolling.
That is great. So one last thing I'm gonna throw at you. So I'm a parent, let's say, in the Pittsburgh area, and I have a couple of little ones around the house, and how do I know that what you offer, what would be some ideas that I should have to lead me to what? How do I know that this is something that I want?
Well, I would encourage you just to let them try it. Bring them in, give it a try. It's really, I mean, I'm getting better at it now that I'm a business owner of explaining it,
Yeah,
but it's the proof is actually seeing your child involved within it. Just to see, like, as a parent, your child the best. How they look when they're happy. What they're like whenever they're in a good mood when they come home after something they're excited in. Bring them in and let them try it. Just let them give them the opportunity to explore this and see how their mood changes. And it's also something that I love to do is to talk to parents, like, what do you want to work on with music? What are your goals? And a lot of times, I think a lot of it is because they kind of looked at my website and they have an idea of what I stand for, but they just want an opportunity for their child just to be themselves and have a safe place to explore that. And music gives them that opportunity. So yeah. So my advice is just give us a try.
absolutely, absolutely. Wow, I got to tell you, Haley, this is a great thing. People say this all the time, but in this case, it applies. You are definitely on the side of the angels here.
Thank you. That means a lot. Phil, I really appreciate your time. This is a pleasure. I'm really passionate about what I do. So whenever you asked me to sit down and talk to you, I was like, absolutely. I would love to tell you what I do. So yeah,
Would you be willing to come back?
absolutely.
Oh, thank you, thank you. That's always a good sign, I think. Um,
Absolutely. You were great to talk with.
well, okay, so I'll tell you what. Let's remind everybody that the business is Creative Melodies, You can find them on the web at creativemelodies.org. And that's melodies plural, IES. And is there any other way people should go about finding you?
Honestly, if you have any questions at all, email me. Go on the website. If you email anything on the website, it's going to go to me. I would be more than happy to talk to you about what we offer. If you have a childcare site, we would love to come in and show you what we do. So let me know, as well as the clinical sites with music therapy. If you have more questions about music therapy, please check out musictherapy.org. That's our American Music Therapy Association. They have wonderful resources.
Fantastic. Haley Welsh, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very, very much for talking with us today. And again, thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thanks, Phil. I appreciate you.